What's going on, guys? What's going on, guys? Today we are going to be unboxing something that I've just picked up because I wanted something to take away with me that was going to be lighter than this behemoth of a lens when it comes to traveling around and stuff like that. Also, that thing takes up so much room in any bag that I needed something a little more compact that was still going to give me the kind of range that I want for wildlife photography. Now, unfortunately, I couldn't have got, like a lens extender or adapter or anything to go with it at the time. But what I did end up getting is the Canon RF 100 to 400 f5 to 6.8. Now, I can tell by how light this box is that it is far lighter than this. Now, I looked it up online, and this is about 600 and something grams. This is 1900, so the weight is not even close to being comparable. I would actually think that it's probably lighter if you put the R7 on this than that lens is on its own. So it's going to be a lightweight setup, a lightweight run-around setup that I can use that's going to have some benefits. Another thing that I also picked up, because for whatever reason Canon decided to omit the lens hoods from these 100 to 400s for whatever reason, is this. The LH74B from JJC off Amazon. It was about £10. So, we're going to open the lens hood, and there it is. Now, one thing I've noticed already is that it has a little button on here, which is going to be really useful for locking it on the lens, and you're not going to be able to just pull it off like you kind of can with these ones. If you squeeze it enough, it will come off and unlock itself. That's not good. So let's get into unboxing the lens. So straight away, we've got a plastic, recyclable. Yeah, it's a recyclable plastic, but it's just a thing right on top. And then I honestly didn't know whether it was going to come in a little bag or something like that, but apparently Canon has gone, no, you paid for a budget lens, so you're going to get not much with it, including a lens hood. That's not going to be included. But honestly, you've got all your papers here, your warranty card, that sort of stuff, and then in the bottom, another one of those plastic things for holding the lens in the box. So honestly, on the box, there really isn't much on it, to be completely honest. I didn't know whether there'd be a little information on it or not, but inside this bag and inside this bubble wrap bag, which, is good to see that they've actually bothered to try and protect the lens a little bit more, is the 100 to 400. The RF 100 to 400, which is 5.6 to f8, sorry, which means that it'll probably be f9, f10 where it's sharpest, but I don't really mind. I want to see how this performs, and that's one of the reasons I definitely got it. Now, what it does have on the back is a lock, so now I can't actually move it at all. If I undo the lock, as you can see there, I can now zoom it in and out, and you can't actually lock it at any other point other than the 100, which means if it's in your bag, you can be rest assured that it isn't going to move whatsoever, which is a good thing. On the other side, we have the AF button, or the AF switch, and also the stabilization switch. On the lens itself, you've got the lens zoom ring, you've got the focus ring, and you've also got a control ring on here, which you can set to like ISO or aperture or anything else. You can set one of these rings to do that. And that's really cool because that gives you an extra layer of control on the camera itself. And you can set that within the camera what you want that control ring to do. So let's take off, or let's put on a lens hood. Simply just slide it over the top and lock it on. And look at that. It's not going anywhere. And that is like even more secure than the one on the Sigma. And even with that, look at the size comparison. I mean, it's kind of crazy how much smaller and lighter this is. Now, don't get me wrong, yes, it is a variable aperture, and the aperture on the Sigma is better, but with the new technology, with the RF mount, with the autofocus and everything else, I think this is really going to give it a run for its money, I'll be honest. So let's get the lens and mount it on the camera. This is obviously the bit that everyone wants to do. Now, I'll be honest, this is so light as a combination. Like, I am really surprised that you can kind of, like, there is no weight to it. I mean, so much so that I would more than likely, let's try this. Yep. This is how light this combination is. I can literally hold it on my pinky for this long, and only now am I starting to feel it a little bit. And my pinkies are not the strongest, so I mean, it's a very lightweight setup, as you can tell. And I have no doubt if you were in the field, you'd be able to walk around with this all day long in one hand, without a strap, without anything, just handheld. The one thing it doesn't have is a lens foot, which is a little annoying because I would kind of like to have a lens foot. But to be fair, it's very short anyway. And if you're obviously looking through this, I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem. Let's take the lens cap off. As you can see here, when I zoom, you'll be able to see how the lens kind of works in that way. Just out of curiosity. Okay, so I haven't really, like, done anything here. I've kind of just pointed the camera at something and then it's pretty much instant focus, man. It's pretty much instant. I mean, I'm shooting through a window. It's dark outside. It's grey. It does look bright, but it is literally just grey out there. Honestly, the quality of the lens, it feels like it's well built. It feels like it's quality. It is light, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad quality thing. It seems to be very lightweight, but just going off like how quickly it was focusing on things, I was going from a tiny thin wire in the foreground to a house in the background, and it was jumping straight away. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how this is really going to perform in the field when I take it out and try and shoot wildlife in a completely different place to where I've been before, in hot weather and everything like that, where this will more than likely shine because of the high aperture and everything like that with the lens. I think this is going to be a really good test for it, but I also think coming back and trying to do similar photography to what I would do with the Sigma lens, with this lens, yeah, I'm going to lose 200 millimeters, but I think the focus and everything like this, that on this is going to be so much faster and so much more accurate that I have a feeling that my keeper rate is going to be higher with this lens. And if that's the case, then I may actually end up winding up selling this one and getting rid of it. And then maybe even in the future, I will work up to the a 100 to 500 or a 150 to 600 Canon RF mount lens if they do end up bringing one of those out. But honestly, so far, I'm impressed with the quality of it. I'm impressed with how fast the autofocus seems to be and everything else so far. So it looks really good. Obviously, there's not a mass amount that I can do with the lens in terms of putting a cover on it or anything like that at the moment because, well, I literally just got it today and I'm going away tomorrow. So it's one of those things. But I'm really looking forward to using it in the field and giving you guys a proper in-depth review of this lens while I have it for the most part. And then obviously I'll give you guys my opinion on what I'm going to do. Am I going to keep it and get rid of the Sigma? Or am I going to go back to the Sigma for the extra reach? I really don't know at this point. I really can't tell. So we'll see. We'll put them head to head in a couple of videos as well and try and get the kind of same sort of subjects in the same sort of place. For that kind of video, I'll probably go to Mia and take both the lenses and sit in like the Janet K Hive where I know there's going to be goldfinches and whatever else coming back and forth all day long to try and give a really, really good comparison and fair test for both of these lenses. But honestly, if you guys are looking forward to that and the extra content that will be coming from it, then don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you do want to support me, there is a buy a coffee link in the description. Even though I don't drink coffee at all, it will go to fueling the bike and fueling me in terms of food. Go to these places and keep making content. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.